Hi, welcome. My name's Kelsey, and I am really happy you're here. I will be taking us through a 30-minute to 40-minute Yin Yoga session that focuses on the hips. So today, for this practice, you'll need a space, whether that's a mat or a blanket or a rug. And it will be helpful to have some supports on hand. So that can be yoga blocks or pillows, or if you have a bolster, even some blankets that you can kind of fold up and can add some comfort or some elevation. So go ahead and grab those if you don't have that already. And once you have all of your supports, then we'll get started again on our mats or our blankets. You can find just a comfortable seat or some other comfort pose. For some folks, it's a seat. For others, it may be child's pose. Whatever it is for you, something that is comfortable, is gentle, and allows you to arrive on your mat. And once you're there, I'll invite you to flutter the eyes closed. If you're in a seated position, your hands can be face down on your knees, be really grounding, or they can be face up. Face up allows you to just feel like you're receiving a little bit of energy. And just notice yourself, your body, your mind. Maybe there's sensation in the body. Maybe there are thoughts in the mind. All okay. Just notice them. We'll take 3 deep breaths together. And as we do so, we'll fill up our bellies, focus on expansion in that area of the body. Getting ready to inhale, filling the belly, and exhale. Inhale, fill the belly, the rib cage, the chest. Audible sigh it out. One more just like that. Inhale, filling the belly, the rib cage, the chest. And sigh it out. If there are any wiggles or adjustments that your body is asking for, go ahead and take that. Allow yourself to honor the body's needs. Yin Yoga is a special practice. It is a practice of stillness. You'll notice that we hold our poses in Yin Yoga for several minutes, which is quite different than a lot of the yoga styles that folks are familiar with today, especially in the West and the US. We are used to hot yoga, vinyasa flows, ashtanga, the yoga that feels like exercise. It feels very active, very energizing. And yin is intended to balance that energy. It's intended to bring stillness to the body and the mind. Take one more breath here. And let it out, and you can gently flutter your eyes open. And we should feel arriving to our mat. And I will ask you to grab your pillow or your bolster or your stack of blankets and put it behind you. So stay seated. You may want to turn depending on how you are oriented. And bring it right behind you. And we're going to be reclining onto this once we set up our legs. So their legs, and put the soles of the feet together. If there's discomfort in the hips or the knees, you can always bring some support under the thighs or under the knees. Once you find your option with the legs, go ahead and with your arms, gently allow yourself to fall back onto your support. Your arms can fall to the side, and just allow your knees to fall towards the ground. Yin Yoga is about stillness. It's a passive practice, so there's no pulling or pushing down or forcing the body into a pose that it's resisting. So just allow the knees to fall open. And you'll experience sensation. So though it's not active, Yin Yoga can be very intense. For me, in this pose, I feel it on the inner thigh. You may feel a sensation there, somewhere else. And sensation isn't pain. Sensation is not a bad thing. And notice how the body may change throughout the course of this pose. Whether there's new tightness in a different spot, or perhaps it feels looser. Perhaps the knees fall towards the ground a little bit more. Maybe they don't. It's a learning experience. Get in touch with your body and to notice your body, the sensations, the changes. There is no right or wrong. Remember to breathe. Bernie Clark wrote a book on Yin Yoga, and one of the quotes that I love is that we do not use the body to get into the pose. We use the pose to get into the body. That's critical in Yin and all yoga. I want you to honor your body. Listen to it. See what it's asking for. Yin is about finding your edge, your limit. You're not going past it. Like I said, we're not forcing anything. We're not pulling or yanking or forcing the muscles to do something they don't want to do. But we're finding a limit, an edge, and we're allowing our body to stay there, to experience sensation. Maybe a little discomfort not pain, discomfort. Releasing some of the deep tissues and tendons and fascia and all of that that's in your body that doesn't always get its moment to shine or its moment to relax. That's what Yin Yoga is. Take one more breath here. And then gently place the hands on the outside of each thigh and use your hands to help yourself bring your knees together. Oh, yeah, feel that. And then gently press up from your pillow or your bolster and just move it to the side. But then come back on your back for a moment. We'll just do a simple bring the knees to the chest, simple counter pose. Your head can stay on the ground. You can also lift it if you want to give yourself a little hug. All right, and release, and we'll come up into a seat again. And bring the right foot straightened and bring it out to the side. And the sole of your left foot comes to the right inner thigh. It's a little half butterfly. So your left leg is bent, your left sole of your foot on the right inner thigh, your right leg is stretched out. If this is difficult for your body today, there's an option to place a block underneath your sit bones. That can make it a little bit more accessible. Again, you can also place a block under your left knee, and you can also place it under your right knee if perhaps your hamstrings feel a little bit tight today. Those are all options. Now, if you have any lower back pain, or if you are pregnant, then I will ask you to stay in this upright position, or perhaps just have a slight bend forward, going forward. You may also find perhaps the seat of a chair, or for me, I might use my bolster to just kind of prop my head and allow my body to be here, just like this. And if you don't have a back injury and you're not pregnant and you still feel like just staying seated upright, you can do that too. But if your body's limit or edge today is a little lower, then we'll do that. We'll get a little lower. So one option is to fold forward. Like this, you can round your spine gently, slowly. Bring the arms down to rest to the ground. Release the head to the ground. Notice if you're holding it up. We want it to be completely relaxed and released. So this is an option. You can bring your supports to the floor in front of you. Bring your arms onto blocks or your pillow. Another option is folding over the extended leg. So here, the right leg extended. So twisting the upper body slightly towards the extended leg and folding over. Again, we're not pulling, we're not grabbing our foot, we're not yanking ourselves. The point is not to be flexible or to bend or to touch our toes. The point is to find where you feel sensation and then passively allow your body to sink into that feeling. So find whatever option works for you here. And also bring pillow or bolster under your chest. Your ankle and your extended leg does not have to be engaged. Again, we're just allowing the body to be here. You may feel sensation in your back and your hip, your hamstring. If you're using support, you may find that after a bit of time, your body is asking you to release even further, and you may remove the bolster or the support. That's not the goal. There is no goal. It's just a thing that might happen. And remember to breathe. Notice if there's tension. Notice if there's engagement. If your neck is engaged and holding your head up, let it release. If your arms are engaged in pulling your body towards your feet, let them release. And slowly bring the palms to the floor. Press yourself up. Your head comes up last, so slowly roll the back up and the head up. Wonderful. Now bring the left leg to extend. We're going to go to the other side. And bring the right sole into the left inner thigh. You can take a little cat-cow seated here if you want to release that upper back. And we'll take the same thing on the other side. So legs are switched. Take whatever option you took on the other side if it feels good in your body on this side. So that was folding forward with or without support, holding you up, or slight twist towards the extended leg and folding over. Again, allowing the arms to drop, not pull. Your palms can be face up if that is a helpful reminder to not be pulling or applying any tension or force. And check in with the neck, the head. Check in with the breath. Allow a natural flow to the breath. Maybe on an inhale, see if you can notice the breath traveling through your body. And on the exhale, see if your body releases any more than it had previously. Again, Yin is a passive practice. So allow your body to sink, to melt. And bring the hands to the ground, palms of the hands. Slowly push up around your back, vertebra by vertebra, and your head comes up last. Now bring both knees out in front of you. So feet are flat on the ground, knees are slightly bent, hands go behind you, and we'll take some windshield wipers. So bring the knees to the left side and then the right side, just to release the hips a little bit from that last set of poses. One more on each side. All right. And we'll find shoelace pose. So bring the left foot in front of you. So your knee is up and bent, your foot is flat on the floor. Bring your right foot to the opposite sit bone. And then bring the left foot to mimic it on the other side. So here, the knees may be stacked. They don't have to touch, but generally in a line on top of each other. If yours are not exactly like that, that's okay. So long as they feel supported and safe. You don't want any pain. This will likely produce a sensation in your hips, maybe your glutes, or your thighs. So we'll sit here. Again, if you have lower back or any abdominal concerns or pregnancy, I would stay just like this. For those who want to feel a little bit more sensation, perhaps coming forward and allowing the upper body to rest on the legs. If that's a little bit too intense today, try a pillow or your support, your blanket here. So that just adds a little bit of elevation so you're not bending as much. Again, you can also just stay like this if you feel this. And if your body feels the sensation that it's at its limit, then this is the pose for you. This is the option. And breathe here. Another breath. If you're folded over, plant the palms and slowly push up. And then release the upper leg, so the left leg. And then gently release the right leg and take a couple windshield wipers. Here's some nice little pops from my hips. They liked that. All right. And we will repeat that process on the other side. So we will bring the left foot underneath the right leg and bring the right ankle crossed over towards the left side. Demonstrate this way this time. You can see it from the side. So legs are crossed, knees are roughly in a line, sit bones are on the ground, and this is the pose. Or perhaps you may want to, you may have noticed I put a block under my head in the last side. And this side's a little bit tighter. And this allows the intensity in my hip without the intensity in my upper back. You may also have noticed that the block was on a different setting, or a different height on the other side for me. Or maybe you noticed for yourself that one side feels different than the other, and that is completely to be expected. Our bodies are not symmetric. They are uneven. Bodies experience different things every day. One day may not look like another day. One side of the body may not feel like the other side. All of that is part of the experience of having a body. And like I said, the practice of any yoga really is to use the pose to get into the body. So noticing those things, noticing that, oh hey, my right hip is feeling a little bit more intense than my left hip today. And just honoring that is yoga. And not judging it, not feeling any feelings about it really. Just accepting it really is not about aesthetics or flexibility. It's really about being in tune with your body, learning how to attune to your body, learning to sit with and sit in discomfort. And if you're folded over, go ahead and press on up very slowly. Remove any supports, and let's gently release our top leg and the bottom, and take some windshield wipers here. And we'll move into our final pose before our resting pose. Do a simple kind of figure 4 stretch. So come on down to your back. So your left foot is flat on the mat or the ground. Your knee is bent in the air. So left knee up. Your right knee bends and your foot comes to land on your left knee here. It's figure 4 stretch. You may feel sensation here. Also lift the left leg and grab onto the back of the left thigh. And again, it's not pulling. We're not pulling our leg in towards our body. Simply have my fingers interlaced behind my thigh. I'm just allowing my body to kind of hold itself up. And just using the opposite forces to do so. My legs are weighing my arms, and my arms are resisting the fall of my legs, and it is balanced so that I find stillness. Now you can do this also with your blanket or with a yoga strap or a rope, and just loop it around your leg, your left leg, and then hold it down here. If perhaps your shoulders feel a little discomfort or tension, or you just prefer to have your elbows to the ground, maybe interlacing your fingers isn't available in your body right now. Notice the body. Notice the breath. Notice the mind. One more breath here. Slowly release your fingers. If they were interlaced, bring your left foot to the ground and straighten both legs out in front of you. Just give them a nice little bounce and little shake. All right. And then bend the right knee, planting the right sole of your foot on the ground, and cross the left ankle over the right knee for that figure four on the other side. I'll take my interlacing finger option here. And release the fingers, release the legs to the ground. Slowly uncross your left leg from your right. Straighten both legs and just give them some nice little taps. Maybe twist the toes out and then in towards each other to touch. You may feel some sensation in your hips. And then when you're ready, find stillness. And for our resting pose, I'll offer either Shavasana, so lying flat on your mat, or you can also offer legs up the wall, waterfall. So bring your sit bones onto the wall Your upper body falls back and relaxes on the ground, and your legs go straight up the wall. So take the option that your body is calling for. And it may be something completely different. It might be your comfort pose, maybe a child's pose. Listen to your body, honor your body. Wherever you are, your hands fall to the side, or perhaps you have one hand on your heart, one on your stomach. If there are any itches or wiggles or adjustments that you need to make, go ahead. No shame in movement. But once you find your sweet spot, go ahead and find stillness. Notice the body. Notice if there are any sensations, or if the body feels any different than it did before your practice. And it's okay if it feels the same. It's okay if it feels different. Just notice. And notice the breath. Notice the natural cadence of your breath. Notice if your natural breath travels to the stomach and raises the belly, or if it stays in the chest. Notice the breath traveling through the body on your inhale. Feel it leave the body with your exhale. And notice the mind. Just any thoughts that are floating by. Allow them to float. And thank your body, thank your breath, thank your mind, thank yourself for this practice. And take a few more moments in stillness and in quiet. to wiggle the toes, the fingers, and deepen the breath. Your legs are up the wall. Go ahead and bend your knees and rolling to one side. If you're on your back, you can also bend your knees and roll to one side. And your eyes can stay closed if they were closed. And just take a final moment here. On your own time, you can press into a seat. Eyes can stay closed or come open. That concludes our Yin Yoga session, and I really appreciate you joining me. Drink water, take care of yourself. I'll see you next time.